guys, welcome back to the channel. I have something super exciting I want to share with you guys today. I just purchased my first supercar of this week, a McLaren 720S. Yes, last week was an Aventador. The week before that was a Lamborghini Huracan, and this week it is a McLaren 720. We're at McLaren Boston right now, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. Guys, I am super excited to show you this.
Guys, it's a 2023 McLaren 720S. Guys, the white one is mine. It is black on white, which is my favorite for obvious reasons.
Should I purchase this 765 LT? I didn't want to show you guys it, but I definitely might buy it. Guys, and I couldn't have done this without your generous support over the years and buying all of the merch. Guys, speaking of merch, if you click the link in the description box below, every shirt you buy is 10,000 points towards the giveaway car of the week, which is this orange McLaren 720S. I actually bought both of these cars. The white one's for me, and the orange car is a giveaway, ensuring you will never see this car again. Guys, another secret for you guys. I actually just bought all of the cars at the McLaren dealership, guys. I just bought the 765 LT, guys. I also got that Bentley. All of the cars are mine, guys. What do you guys. Most videos that introduce a new supercar start off like that. I can't match that childlike enthusiasm because I am not a child. I'm tired, I have low T, ED, and a very enlarged prostate. Don't get me wrong, YouTubers work hard and everything.
God, amazing. Ice cream so good. Ugh.
But you think we work harder than roofers, underwater welders, Marines, and prostitutes? Here's a hint. We don't. After a year of work, these YouTubers have supercars. After a year of work, coal miners have black lung. I bought a McLaren 720S because I found them fascinating. I think it's one of the most beautiful cars made. And since Tesla canceled my free Roadster, even after helping them sell hundreds of cars, I had to look for an alternative. A supercar with the build quality of a Tesla that actually exists. I had to try this thing out. Now, the reason why I haven't told anyone about it is because it's insanely expensive to fix, and I've been saving up money for parts. Yes, I literally have to do that. Remember, I'm not an S-tier YouTuber. When I buy something expensive, my chocolate starfish feels the pain. And I don't have McLaren in my back pocket like some other YouTubers I know, because admittedly, I'm off-putting. Now, I will never forget the time we were at SEMA and General Motors came over to see Ice-T, the V8 Tesla. They came out and said, we want to give you an engine for this thing. It would be awesome to collaborate with you. We were all super pumped. Then the social media and marketing person came over and saw this scene, and yeah, I ended up not getting that engine. But the reason I have a McLaren and you probably don't is because, well, no one that owns a McLaren actually watches these videos, and I've made sacrifices that you haven't. I want to give you real-world advice on how to get a McLaren 720 when you don't make much money. Now, the absolute easiest way to make a ton of money is reading books to adults and children. Yes, it sounds odd, but you can literally have 3 private jets and the biggest house in the poorest and least educated state in our country. All you have to do is read books to people. Google search poorest and least educated states, move to one of them, and start reading. After a while, people will enjoy the way you read the books. Then you get a spot and people will pay you to read to them in said location. Then you get more people, then you get a bigger spot, and before you know it, you're reading to tens of thousands of people that are paying you 10% of their yearly salary to read to them. Don't believe me?
I live in the biggest house in the state of Louisiana.
You mean you got 2 jets? You got 2 cars? You have 2 cars? Look at me. I'm talking to you out there. Do you have 2 cars?
He did it, so can you. But let's just say you can't read good. Matter of fact, I have a 3rd grade reading level, and I don't live in one of those states. Assuming you can barely read, what can you do? Me? Well, I get money the old-fashioned way. Hey Jess, it's me. How are you? Oh my goodness, it's so nice to see you again. Oh my goodness. I brought you Chipotle. Oh, I got you chips. No guac. Guac was more money. Guac was more, so I didn't get that.
Yeah. What's going on?
Well, you see at work, the fish, they swim south when it gets cooler. and I'm not really getting the fish.
Oh.
And the fish.
I heard that happened.
That's how who knew?
Who knew?
I don't know. And then they swim, and then I throw the rod in, and I can't catch anything because they're not there.
Yeah.
You know
of
what I
course,
mean?
Yes.
It's just
So, what do you need?
I need some help.
Like what? Tell me what you need. I mean, I'll do anything for you, babe. Tell me what you need. You need money. What do you think you need?
Just maybe a little more.
What?
A little bit more, yeah.
Oh.
Thank you. This might not be enough.
Okay.
I might need a little bit.
Hey, Jack! Uncle Rich is here! Can you bring the money?
Like, babe, thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. I'd love to stick around, but I can't.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's all right, babe. Let's eat.
Are you not eating enough good food in your diet? Focusing on foods that, well, aren't very good? Are you sick and tired of making hot bean sandwiches over the sink because you can't cook? Well, I found a solution. Cook Unity, and Cook Unity is the first chef-to-you meal delivery service made up of over 70 chefs who believe that great food should be for everyone, especially for those that simply don't cook or just don't feel like getting their hands dirty. Now, each week, award-winning chefs craft hundreds of globally inspired meals, from vegetarian to paleo and everything in between. Meals are delivered fresh and never frozen in micro kitchens, and the menu rotates every week, so there's always something new to try. Now, this week I've enjoyed Raimundo's hanger steak, Esther's Japanese noodles, Maya's fettuccine, Chris's Montreal flank steak, and John's pepperoni naan pizza. And they all use real ingredients with humanely raised meat and organic ingredients when possible, and can help any dietary preference. And the menu is constantly changing, and since everything is fully cooked, you literally just heat it up. Now, the subscription's super flexible, and you can pause, skip weeks, or cancel at any time, which makes this the perfect service, and that's why I love it, besides Maya's fettuccine. Go to URL www.cookunity.com/richr, or click the link in the description below and use my code RICHR50 to get 50% off your first order of Cook Unity meals to try them out for yourself.
Very inclusive of you. Do you want these from here to go?
For here's good. I'll do that for you. Thank you.
It's a very assuming position for you. Oh, what are you, a cat vomiting?
Get a new one of these, obviously. So that kind of stinks. The taillight's there, though, which is good. I don't know what this connector's for. That's all coming out. There needs to be some wiring harness repair. So this was the old one that bent in half. They tried to put a new one in, I think, to test it, but it has to be coded to the car, so it would never work.
And we've brought in some specialists. Oh, seriously.
So, can we open it? It's battery's dead, fell locked up. Oh boy, okay.
Are they okay with us opening this?
I'm gonna talk to the guy, but he said it should be fine, but he wants to see, so we're not stealing cars off and stuff. I was surprised to hear that they were not McLaren specialists here.
Yeah,
I was shocked.
Not a lot of people are. Looks like you're gonna need hydraulics. This might have shifted.
Oh, the piston for the wing?
Yeah, just one hydraulics for here. So the thing that I'm looking at is this. So this is the frame rail right here.
Yep.
Yeah. If this shifted a little bit in, you're gonna have to replace the frame, which is actually not like it's not expensive.
Okay.
But you have to take everything out of the back.
I'm looking at some of the repair handiwork here. This is RTV. They put RTV in the wheel. Okay.
Good. Yeah.
It's cheap.
They want like real money for this car.
Want real money for it.
Carbon ceramic is. See if it's
any chunks sticking out of it.
Nothing.
I didn't feel any when I felt it.
Yeah, nothing too bad. I mean, we'll need a new wheel, new AC line.
Yep.
Missing a fender liner because that's where the ECU sits.
Yep. Oh, the gas shocks work. This is a big frunk. This is bigger than a Tesla frunk, I believe it might be.
We can get to that. Watch that side. Yeah. There you go.
I gotta be honest, the bazooka's one thing, but the guard dog?
Yeah. That's a friendly pup.
That dog kissed me
earlier. No, he's not going to do anything.
No. But the rocket launcher.
Yes, that was...
That'll be a cabbage right in the
That's
chest.
a surface-to-air missile that guy's got.
Yeah, you can put it on there. Okay, yeah, so perfect. All right, cool, thank you. I'm gonna try to start it.
Okay. I say start, then cut it, if it works.
Okay, well, let's see.
Yes, it's time to crank.
Okay, yep.
It's good?
I mean, the engine hasn't started.
Okay, well, there's no grinding noises. Let's leave it as is.
But the engine will start.
Let's just take it home.
Okay.
They use the same frame. They use the same engine for every car.
Yeah. It's right here, and then you have this this giant frame section.
Yep.
And then it just juts out like that. So the only thing here is suspension and your cooling pack. So I really wouldn't worry about anything here.
Okay.
You can always get a new cooling pack. I think this is just like it probably came off and then they slapped it back on.
They just drilled it back on. Yeah, I saw that there.
Yeah. I mean that's not McLaren. That might be MSO, like a special option.
Yeah.
Like the rusty wood screw
pack.
in there.
Yeah.
But we could just take that wood screw out and just see what's in there.
I'm just curious. Maybe there's money in there. Who knows? Oh, okay.
It should.
And that's not an option. That's standard with all of them.
I don't know.
You're supposed to be the expert.
He was supposed to be.
I thought you would know. Ready? I thought you just showed you the car and you'd know everything.
Dude, I don't know anything about these cars.
Oh, okay.
Last time I drove a McLaren, the engine blew.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, historically.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Sorry.
You know?
Yeah.
Hi. Hello. How are you? Were you sleeping? Were you sleeping in that Lamborghini Urus? What's the meaning of this? Yeah, that's my phone charger. All right, that's fine. Yeah, you're a scrappy little one, huh? Yeah. Okay. It's gonna offer you a home, but if you're gonna be a dink, I don't know.
Guardrail, something like that?
I'm not sure what happened, but I think that he had someone hit him. So they put him under oath, and he said he admitted that it was fake.
Just sitting there. So he must have staged. I don't know if he staged it.
No,
whatever he did.
so after that, you can see that he hit it more.
Oh yeah.
Like look at the original pictures.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he hit it more. He probably had a car just.
Did he just wanted to get out of the car or something?
Well, he owed $270 or $280, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So how was the title clean then?
Because the insurance never paid out on this car. After the guy went into oath and he no, then they backed it up. The car went into repossession.
Yeah.
And
Well,
my main business, we moved.
is anyone else getting a negative vibe from this place, or is it just me?
I'm getting fantastic photos.
It's not good that you're here.
Sun's getting real
We should get the F out.
Dude, this place at night, I'm
Yeah.
all set.
Hey. Sun's getting real low. All right, here we are. We have hobbled and pushed the car up under Freddie's tutelage.
I'm not sure you're gonna get out, but
This is gonna be fun. Thanks, guys.
It's a good place to spend time.
give me that. Hey, can you give me that battery charger?
Not if it beeps like that.
The one that's wireless. I just want to.
Stop yelling at me.
Black coffee.
They thought I was black coffee.
I mean, Malcolm X?
I mean, to be fair, that does. That's Seal. they thought it was me. Yeah, da da da. That's not.
You
not
thought
Seal.
he'd buy a salvage McLaren?
Yeah, no way. You buy a new one. You guys are, thank you very much.
Honestly, it's the build quality is, notwithstanding, the engineering is actually pretty good. Even in factory form, if you're hot dogging it, like, just be careful.
What's hot dogging it?
Drive it like it's not a Hellcat. Don't drive it like a Hellcat.
But it's like a $300,000 car. If you were to drive it like it's like a race car, right? I saw
Yeah.
Chris Harris drift around a track for like a
Chris,
mile.
Chris Harris did that for a mile on a press car.
Yeah, sure. That broke down later.
What happened?
Yeah. It doesn't
What
matter if that
happened
blows
after
up.
that?
Like you actually have to buy this
I
thing.
get to get home. Why is it getting rough? Power steering works.
Yeah, it registered that we were going 2 miles an hour.
I'll just do this in the driveway.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
You good? This is a racetrack in.
Where's it gonna happen? Out of the way.
Okay. Sweet. One down, one more to go.
Think it's enough, or you want to back it all the way out?
That should be good. I saw the caliper move.
Okay.
You know what's really cool? Watching two actual mechanics work.
The best part about mechanics
is
that Chad and I have never worked together, and I know
But
exactly
there's an
where he's going.
understanding. There's an understanding.
I know what he's doing, and I just...
It's a mechanic thing. You
the
wouldn't.
best thing.
You wouldn't understand.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just it's like the Jeep owners. It's like they have this like brotherhood where they just make out with each other because it just works. It's moving.
Got it. Yeah. You don't want to chip those rotors.
Let's go over this again.
Okay, so I should probably start working on this thing, right? Now, supposedly, allegedly, there's very obvious markings underneath the car to see where you should jack it up. And where are they? Oh, there's one there, and there's the other one. McLaren made my life that much easier. And what the people that don't own these cars will tell you, they'll say they're unreliable, and they'll say the jack points are easy to find because the cars are always on jack stands because it's always broken. Honestly, right here, this made my life that much easier because the front axle lift was stuck in the up position. Because if it was any lower in the front, I wouldn't have made it. And this is the most expensive car that's ever been on this lift. So I really, really hope I don't screw this up. So judging by the look underneath the car, it actually doesn't look too bad at all. All of the front suspension components are intact, and both left and right of these air channels that bring air into the front pads and rotors, they look good too. The underbody air channels are still there as well. All of the hardware holding those on are still intact. It looks pretty good. There's no cracks in the carbon tub, and it looks like there are 2 pieces of hardware missing from here, but these, I think, go all the way to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that there was a plastic or metal under tray here, which is no longer here. I don't know if they stole it. I don't know if it flew off in the accident or something. But again, this is not bad. So everything I'm doing right now, I'm putting all these pieces in labeled bags just so I have them and I know where they go. But this should be a pretty fun exercise in rebuilding a McLaren. This is the most expensive car I think I've ever touched. All right, here we have some zip tie action going on again. Now, I don't want this transmission control module to fly off the car when I was driving the car 2,000 miles on the trailer. This, on the other hand, is a secondary module, so I don't know why they didn't remove it. But maybe for some reason, it doesn't matter because it's okay. Sometimes I think they just wanted to flip the car and get it out of their possession as quickly as possible. So they may have taken some shortcuts. I'm going to save all these pieces again. You have to save all the broken pieces because you never know what parts you're going to need. These cars are very expensive, and if I need something minor like a bracket or this piece of trim, I don't want to have to go to McLaren and pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for random things. I'm going to keep all the parts until the project's finished. All right, I'm realizing this fender has to come off because there's a lot of tight quarters and intricacies here, and I have to remove this airbox, and removing that fender, which would actually help me a ton and save a lot of work. It almost looks like I have to take off a part of the exhaust shielding in order to get access to that. You know what, I'm just gonna shift my focus towards removing this fender so I get a better view of what's inside the car. And as I look in here, I also see that the filler neck has been disconnected. That popped off. So I'm not really sure that's going to be an issue later on as time goes on because this car has been sitting outside for probably most of its life. So the water may have seeped through the exposed filler neck and into the tank. So there could be water in this tank, which explains why it didn't sound so great when it started up the first time. I'm not going to lie, this is probably one of the most difficult cars I've taken apart so far. I finally removed this trim piece. This was already broken. I did not do this, but I could finally get access to a lot of the things I need to remove this fender. And there's a whole bunch of hardware in a straight line going all the way down. And I'll say it again, though, if you want your car to look this sexy, you have to have a lot of these hidden fasteners and double-sided tape to get in there to have the appearance of having everything floating. See, I love the way this looks. And if I could drive the car just like this, I would do it every day. But it appears as if my shopping list is getting a little bit bigger. All of these are the parts I removed from the McLaren, and I have a lot of the hardware in bags I need to keep. And I kept them by the driver's quarter panel so they don't get lost. And I have the rear bumper stuff, but there's a couple things I have to go through. And the one I want to figure out is I want to figure out a way to clean this up and weld on new supports for the rear crash bar. I also have to verify that these rear crash beams are both straight and true. We're going to do that in the next step. And I want to make sure the rear crash bar support is supposed to come out at an angle, because these angles were kind of weird, but after looking at both sides, it seems like they both come out at that angle. So I think that's somewhat normal. Now, it doesn't seem like it's too bad so far. I have to bend these brackets back in place, and I'm not buying brackets because I know these brackets probably cost a fortune. And there's another interesting thing going on here, too. I want to figure out what material this is made out of because there's a tab right on top. And if it's just simply aluminum, that's really easy. If it's magnesium, it's not that easy. But I'd probably just end up using some industrial-grade epoxy because this only holds up the air box, which weighs next to nothing. The ride height sensors look good. Those are all set. So far, it seems like it's going pretty well. And obviously, there's plenty of time for things to go wrong. But I'm also going to need some exhaust shields. I'm going to need some fender wells on that side and a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's keep pushing. All right, so today's the day I decided I have to take the McLaren 720 home with me. There's a lot of things going on at the shop right now, a lot of projects, a lot of dust and debris, and just general dings and dents are happening to the McLaren. So I want to bring it to a little bit of a safer space. There's haze all over it when there's grinding and cutting. There's things going to the paint. So it's not really an ideal environment to have a car like this. So I want to actually start pulling it forward to get out of the shop. I'd have to do some more work with the rear end, so I can't really start it up right now to drive it. So I have a puller. I actually found a puller on Facebook Marketplace, and this puller is gonna do all the work for me. So puller, you wanna start pulling or what?
Wait, where'd you find me?
Facebook Marketplace.
The disrespect on so many
This
levels.
is just, jeez. What the heck? What is this? He's pulling this thing. Oh my good, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
You know, you guys, gotta wear the gloves. Just got my nails done. I'm a little upset that you didn't tell me that you had this.
I told you I had this. I told you I had a McLaren, remember?
I don't. Did you get this because Tavares has one?
No, you see, that's a common misconception. People keep asking me that. I didn't get it because of him. Yes, it was shortly after he got his, but it has nothing to do with the fact that he has plenty of cars I don't have. He has an Aston Martin, Lamborghinis.
Are you making the whole interior orange for me?
No.
Is this gonna be for me?
Matter of fact, you're not supposed to have shoes on in the car. That's a McLaren thing. You can't wear, you have to have driving gloves and no shoes. You have to be barefoot so you could feel the road. You know what I mean?
Right.
Are those shoes clean? Let me see the bottom of your shoes. Get out, come out. Yeah, go ahead.
No, seriously, so there's no back panel thingy-majig. What are you,
So
what did you do?
This panel, there was a mishap with the car because I can't afford one of these otherwise. If you were to buy one of these with this spec that's not damaged, it's way above my pay grade. So I got one that needed a little TLC, and by a little TLC, I mean a lot of TLC.
I don't even know what any of this means.
I don't know.
I don't want to touch it.
I don't know what it looks like. A spaceship, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It looks like a foreign spacecraft. I've never worked on a car like this before. I think the closest one I had to this was the i8, but even that it's nothing compared to this one at all.
Are you making it electric?
No.
What?
No.
Am I
That's disgusting. I would never.
That would be something.
That's illegal. If we were to do a rally together, which I would never want to do with you, maybe we could take this thing next time.
We already did a rally.
How'd it go, you think? Linda, hurry up, Linda. Come on, come on,
Well,
come
why
on.
are you making me do your
Come on.
too? What are
You see I have this. You see I have the bag here. This is heavy. Come on, keep
This
going.
is how you treat me?
Okay, now that this side piece is off, it looks like an alien spaceship. However, I will say it's not as complex looking as Freddy's, but it still looks very cool naked. What I want to do now is I want to remove this wing, and I want to get access to the exhaust because, you know, it's one of those things where you work on a car, it's like, now that you're here, you might as well do the rest of it. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take the wing off. I'm going to take off this heat shield, and I want to get a little bit closer to the inside of the engine bay because remember, it looked like there were some rodents in there. So I'm not really sure if they made a nest, if they chewed some wiring or not. But I'm gonna take the wing off, take the heel shield off, look at the exhaust, one of the tips is bent. Granted, yes, I could very simply just buy a new tip, but I definitely wanna dig in and see what else is going on with the car. Here is the new rear crash bar that's replacing the old broken one. I don't want to get into how much this crash bar costs, but it is literally a thin piece of aluminum, but because it has a McLaren part number on it, it's ridiculously expensive. Now on this side, these two tabs were broken off, you know, for these rear frame rails. This fits right here perfectly. And Joey went ahead and knocked the other one off because this wasn't sitting perfectly flush, so he got it off. And we're straightening it with the vise right now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put these on right here and do some aluminum welding so this is nice and flat, just like that side is. You see how that side's nice and straight? we want to make this side nice and straight as well. So this one goes here. Joey has the other one. We're going to make sure those are nice and vertical and not sticking out before we weld it on. But what we want to do is get the hardware, bolt this into place, bolt it to the back side of it, and make sure it's all straight before we start welding. All right, here we are, another day, another issue with this car. So what I want to do now is I removed all the components of the rear of the car. The airbox on this side I had to remove because it was destroyed along with the transmission control module. What I have to do is I have to fix this bracket. So this bracket broke. This is a piece of it. There's a mount right there that goes to the wing mount, and it's also part of this bracket too. So there's this bracket, there's this, the wing mount. There's a lot of complex pieces to this car. What I have to do is I don't really see the justification for purchasing an entirely new bracket. I saw the prices on eBay and they're between $600 and $700, which I think is astronomical. What I want to do with this, I'm just going to JB weld that. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, you can't do this to a McLaren. It's a McLaren, blah, 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 blah. And Freddie would have done it a different way. Freddie would have purchased a new bracket, and he would also bought a new car as well, most likely, because he has the budget to do that. I do not, so I have to use glue and JB weld and other resources. That airbox is also supported in other places as well, so I don't want you guys to think that that's just the main mount. It's the only thing holding it up. That airbox is also supported by that top bracket, which we bent back in place right here. This was all messed up. We just used the vise to put that back into place. So this will be going on the vehicle soon, along with that side airbox. This is the new OEM airbox. Bent this bracket back into place. This glue is still setting pretty nicely. I think there's about 2 or 3 hours left on it. But after this is done, I'm gonna push that over a little bit and tighten that down. But this is the new TCM bracket. All of the wiring harnesses have been repaired. Again, this is painted now. It's the McLaren part number still shines through. I think it looks pretty clean, and I saved myself, well over, $200 by repairing it, as opposed to buying a used piece offline. So the next thing I want to tackle is I want to tackle this caliper. This caliper's been bothering me for a while, and once I take this wheel off, we'll talk a little bit more about it. This caliper isn't ideal. Normally I'd take the cheap way out and I would just start getting a touch-up brush and I'd make that a little bit prettier, but unfortunately I think this sustained a little bit too much damage to be a safe product to go down the road with. I mean, obviously brakes are safety. The last thing you want is this rear caliper locking up at over 100 miles an hour on a closed course, of course. But yes, I think I want to replace this. It looks like it's in pretty decent-ish shape, but you can't really be too sure, especially when it comes to this area right here. A little bit too much of this has scraped off for me to really feel comfortable using this. So I bought another one on eBay, and I was actually surprised they had one. So I'll be pulling this one off and replacing it with the new McLaren caliper. Brake line is in, the brake pad wear sensor is also in as well. The good thing about this caliper is actually a lot less sun faded than that one was. That one's more of like a brightish orange color. This is more of a dark orange, but everything's ready to go. All I have to do now is bleed the brakes, and I am set to drive this thing. Okay, so right now the remainder of the body panels are at Dan's Auto Body in Peabody, and John and I have to disassemble the entire front of this McLaren minus the doors today, and I have to take these parts to them just to make sure they get painted, because the front bumper is a little bit of rough shape. What ended up happening was there was some grinding and cutting going on, and a lot of those metal flakes burned through the paint in the front. And instead of getting a guy to actually do some buffing and stuff, I decided let's just get the whole car painted. Same thing with the hood, and there's a couple of imperfections here and there, like this mirror cap. I don't know how this happened. And right here, and also on the fender as well. So today's goal is fenders, front bumper, hood, headlight buckets. Don't run away. People know you exist, John. Don't run away, dude. And right here, I know this is like a really weird gray metallic color. This will be painted black as well. Same thing with the headlight bucket. So instead of just random gray and black accents, it'll just be black and the body color of the car. So let's get to work. All right, so for the most part so far, it's been pretty straightforward. You look at the front bumper. You have to take the front tub out, obviously. We can't give you instructions on that. But there's, let's see, a screw there, all in the front. It goes to the sides as well. And John's working on some ones on the inside right now. That one, and then the corresponding one on this side as well. So after that, then we have to go through the fender liners. We likely have to turn the wheel a little bit to get access to these. And there's likely a couple more in here we have to do in order to get this thing all squared away. So we'll keep going at it. All right, so I think John made some progress with the headlight.
Let's see. Ready?
Wiggly.
Wiggly. Here it comes.
You see a head? Oh, it's a boy.
It's a boy. Here you
Big
go.
Boy.
Don't drop that.
No. What do you see? Complexity?
A whole lot of screws. Want to get in there?
Oh, they really don't want you taking this thing up. They had no intention.
1, 2, 3, and then that one was the 4th. So you have to take the headlights out to get the bumper off.
Interesting. That's why they can bill those crazy hours. I think McLaren's like 2 something an hour. I mean,
of course.
This, it's got to be a fortune. Oh, one of my headlights burnt out. Well,
let me tell you something.
Let's see. The headlight's $4,000. Labor's $4,000. Okay, so now we're at the point where we could actually remove this fender finally. And I just realized just how much everything on this car is glued together. And even the fender is pretty much glued to the body of the car. So after we remove the 17 hardware fasteners on this thing, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then we have to deal with the glue monster. And this portion of the fender right here is actually glued to the front. Hey, John. So you have to scrape that off.
Oh my God, this one's on here.
Yeah, I think they use super glue for this one.
I think they went a little bit crazy on the double-sided tape on this one. No, see all these right here. Look, under here.
Got it.
This.
You gotta be kidding me.
This one goes to the door.
Yep.
And then these little clips here.
Just peel them off.
Hold everything in place.
Yep.
It doesn't fall.
All right, now for the final piece of the McLaren disassembly are these annoying doors. While they're very beautiful, they're also very large, and they're also very complicated too. If you look right here, there's 3 separate pieces to this door. There's the outer piece, the middle piece, and there's the inner piece. In order to get access to these, you have to remove this panel, and there's no screws or hardware that hold that in. This is literally glued into the car. So you have to pop these off, get access to the inside, remove this door panel, remove the outer layer first. After the outer layer is off, you can move to the secondary layer, and all these have to come off because they can't really paint inside of this air bridge. Painting inside that air bridge is tough, so we're gonna do our best to take this apart to make it a lot easier on the body shop, Dan's Auto Body, because if it's difficult for them, the price goes up, and I don't want this to cost any more than it already has. So what we'll do now is we're going to open up these doors a little bit further, remove all the hardware, and then once we do that, we still have to take the doors off by taking these out here and down there as well. So now that the fender's removed, you can see a little bit more of the door structure and how that whole mechanism works right there. See that turning and moving? So all of this has to unfortunately come out. And let us not forget the glue we have to reapply for the fenders. So thank you, McLaren. Oh, is that carbon fiber? Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's about, John, should I keep it going, John?
Go ahead. Because watch.
Nice.
See the hook right there?
Yep.
And there's a hook right there.
Wow, no broken tabs. Impressive. I would have broken every single tab on this.
I bet you would have.
And I'd be on eBay looking for a new one right now.
That's an access panel right here.
Yep.
So you gotta kind of get in there. And
they love double-sided tape in this car, don't they?
Don't totally love double-sided tape on this car.
I could see the glue tearing. I could also see my account balance going down. That was easy, because I'll just tape that again.
It's just the use of double-sided tape that they put on everything.
This This is insane.
Hey.
You did it.
Hey.
Okay, so that's getting painted. This door's gonna come off now, right? This door's gonna hit you in the face, so watch out.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. It's gonna hit you in the face.
Wow. It's amazing just how much more powerful that door opens up with all the weight off of it.
Yeah, it's even better when I don't have to hold these panels.
Thank you, I got this. Okay, so now it's time for the McLaren to leave its nest and go on to a new nest. The shop is no longer a safe space for it, and I need a smaller and more dedicated work environment at home where we aren't cutting, grinding, and welding on the Volkswagen pickup truck. It's a nice car, but whenever it gets bumped or I lose a part, it literally costs hundreds of dollars. Matter of fact, I managed to lose the tow hook eyelet, and it cost $250. And this will be my first time towing something of this weight with the Rivian, and it did absolutely fine. Of course, there's enough torque to pull a house down. I just turn on some West Side Gun, and I go about my business. Now, the body panels are off for paint, and the car's at my house, but trust me, this is far from over. There are still several issues with the car that go beyond cosmetics. It needs new roof glass, new windshield. The rear driver's wheel is damaged. The car misfires like crazy. There's a massive leak coming from underneath the car. The front suspension won't go down. And even worse, the car also won't go into drive. And even after all that, I still have to figure out the insurance fraud issue. I may not even be able to keep this car. So it's going to get really interesting really quickly. So I have my work cut out for me on this one. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, I will see you guys soon. And don't forget to check me out on Instagram at RichieBKid.
Pop, amazing. Ice cream so good. Ugh.